Hi, my name is Oliver. This video is an update to the one I posted 3 years ago called I'm a Fat Bulimic Guy, My Bulimia Story. And if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to suggest that you don't watch it. I had intended for that video to be uplifting, and in some ways it was, but I watched it again today, and I have to say, it's depressing, as expected, since I wasn't recovered. I noticed in that video that I said I know this isn't healthy a few times. And I realized today that by saying that, I was beating myself up. I was holding myself responsible for an eating disorder that was out of my control. I was repeating other people's words of judgment. I think I wanted people to know that I'm self aware, but awareness of an issue doesn't mean that I have any idea of how to fix it. I knew how to eat healthily, I just didn't know how to sustain it. And it wasn't the eating that I needed to fix. I needed to stop trying to fix it and instead cater to my emotions. You can't choose your feelings. You can't decide to just not feel the urge to binge. But you can change your reactions to those emotions. And those changes require training. I haven't purged since December last year, and last year I purged 5 times in total, a massive difference to the 29 times in a month, which was the number that I said in my previous video. Part of this was because I dropped out of university. It was too stressful, I hated the course, I had no tools to help myself despite going to the counsellor, and when I left, I was really disappointed to find out that my eating issues didn't stop. But now that I'm no longer in the dorm room, I don't have to hide all my food in my dorm room, and I can leave it in my fridge in my kitchen. I have space to breathe. It hasn't stopped me binging, but it's helped me to reduce it at the very least. It's difficult for me to describe the process of what I did to stop purging. I felt the urge to vomit, which was like needles trying to burst their way out of my skin from the inside, and I would just sit. I would feel awfully full from a binge, and I stayed with the pain. I didn't tell myself reasons for why I shouldn't purge. I just sat and screamed in my own mind. I wrote online venting about how badly I wanted to vomit, and I ate ice cubes to soothe my nausea. And when the pain from the binge stopped hurting as much, I just went to bed. 29 times in a month turned into 12 times a month, and then less than that after a year, and so on. I stopped buying food that I knew would make me sick. I stopped getting pizza from Papa John's because the grease in that food was upsetting my stomach. I had been eating that food despite severe abdominal pain and indigestion because my emotional pain was worse. I said, I'm not buying from them anymore, and I ended up giving in several times. Then I found that when I ate from them every few months instead of every week, I could enjoy the food without feeling pain. I could enjoy it without depending on it. I saw a dietitian last year from July to December. I spoke to her over the phone. I told her what foods I liked, and from that she suggested what meals I could eat. She told me that it's important to eat healthy foods you like rather than forcing yourself to eat what I didn't like. I didn't look at calories ever. We didn't focus on my weight at all. I ate to keep my appetite steady. I recorded everything I ate in a little book. It's very full. I've nearly managed to reach it to the end, jeez. And there wasn't a week that, over the course of 6 months, that it was easy. I tried new things. I went to the gym twice in October. She helped me to feel good about my achievements even when I hadn't met a standard that I wanted to meet. One of those achievements was only binging once in the space of 2 weeks. Winter came and my binges and takeaway orders got more frequent. I had a purge relapse. Then she had to go. She told me to take a break from recovery because I wasn't in the right headspace. I was too depressed. I haven't been able to keep going with her plan since then, and I've gained weight. While that might sound like a tragic story, there are a few things I learned from this experience. One, it was possible for me to stop binging for some time. Two, eating healthy foods wasn't hard. Maintaining a clean kitchen and going grocery shopping and distracting myself from binge urges and coping with boredom from the same repetitive meals, however, was very hard. I have other illnesses, 4 mental illnesses and 2 autoimmune disorders that cause me to have fatigue and gain weight. Eating poorly is a result and not a cause of those issues. The fatigue and stress and the emotions caused by that were the real issue. But to fix my fatigue meant I had to push myself less hard, which meant progress would be even slower, which meant having to cope with shame and impatience and desperation because I couldn't see results as fast as I'd like. The third thing I learned, with the help of a counsellor, was that the only reason I was able to stick to that plan, the eating plan that the dietitian gave me, was because the dietitian was like a mother figure to me. My eating issues had started due to neglect from my own mother. So rather than getting better, I was creating a dependency on someone I'd only ever talked to over the phone. It's embarrassing to admit that, but that's what trauma does. It causes you to relive the past, and I'm very much still stuck there. And because of this urge to make her proud, to notice me, I pushed myself too far. Remember when I said that I went to the gym? I went from no exercise to an hour of cardio and an hour of strength training in one go. Of course, I wasn't going to maintain that. Going to the gym wasn't progress for me because I was jumping way too many steps ahead. It was a step backwards. I felt motivated because I was motivated in being healthy, sure, but I was acting impulsively. In fact, the real reason I went to the gym was because my doctor refused to give me medication I've needed for 4 years because of my weight. He said that I wasn't motivated to lose weight, as if I haven't been tearing myself from the inside out trying to lose weight for the past decade. And what do you know? I emailed my dietitian for the first time after I read some horrible comments on a YouTube video about a fat man who just wanted to try and dress nicer. It doesn't matter what clothes he wears, he's still gonna look like a fat fucking whale. That's what they said. The plan that the dietitian gave me was a healthy one, yes. It was well-intentioned, but I unconsciously turned it into a diet. I mentioned earlier that I'm seeing a counsellor. She's a private therapist, one I'm paying for out of my own money, because I've been on the waiting list for a psychotherapist with the NHS for nearly 2 years. COVID doesn't help, And this counsellor isn't going to give me a plan on how to improve my eating issues. She won't fix my feelings for me, and she won't be a mother figure I become dependent on, but she will remind me to be kinder to myself. She'll remind me to choose smaller goals and remind me that my pain is enough. And she'll listen when I tell her about something that I'm struggling with. I'm good at bouncing back. That's all you really need to recover. It's just keep coming back to it no matter how many years it's been and no matter how disheartened you feel. You are changeable. You've made change and progress that you haven't even been aware of because you're looking at the trees instead of the whole forest. These past 3 years, even though to you it might seem like I've changed and had all these transformative experiences, in my head, I haven't aged at all. I struggled with eating stuff then, and I still do now. But if you compare this video to the one I posted last time, you can see how my attitude has changed, right? How my thoughts and my mindset are different. This is what they mean by changing your perspective in order to heal. It is so frustrating to hear. And it feels like they don't understand mental health at all when they suggest this. But it's true. They just don't know how to explain it very well to us because they do it naturally, and we're having to manually create that for ourselves. Thank you for all the comments and support you've left on my videos. I've seen every single one. I really appreciate it. You're all amazing and wonderful. And I hope this video has helped you on your journey. I might post a video with an update about my BPD, so if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. And thanks for watching.